What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I just finished watching episode 6 of season 3 of The Boys. Oh, this was a wild episode. Really, really wild. So Soulja Boy has no idea what life is like right now. Like, everything that he sees, he thinks it's ridiculous. He gets pissed off when there's not a certain sauce that comes with his meal that Butcher went to go get him. So they're at this, I don't know if it's like an abandoned apartment or something that they're staying at. Of course, Huey is sitting there just watching him. So I can't really tell whether Soulja Boy really cares or not. But anyway, he is going after the twins now. I forgot their names, but the twins that were part of his crew, because now he's going after everybody who did not come save him. So Ashley, I remembered her name finally. Ashley is trying her best to keep herself together, and this chick is just like, I don't know. She's all over the place. She either has Homelander's back, or she's scared of him, or she's trying to kiss his butt. I don't know. She's all over the place. Meanwhile, she continues to pull her hair out, which is just becoming her thing, I guess. So anyway, A-Train is still really pissed off. So now he wants justice for his brother. And he has threatened to go after what is his name? Blue Hawk? I forgot his name, but the guy that put his brother in the hospital. So meanwhile, Homelander is looking at this footage and finally realizes that Soulja Boy is alive. And he's watching this with Ashley and the Deep. So Ashley's bright idea was to tell everybody, but Homelander's like, no, nobody needs to know about this. Like, I'm going to go find him and I'm going to kill him straight up and down. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's figure out how this is going to go. So he's walking in the hallway with Black Noir. Black Noir obviously doesn't speak. So he's basically telling him, would you have any idea, like, what this is all about, and blah, blah, blah. Of course, he's just standing there. So Homelander leaves. Black Noir gets in the elevator. There's only one person in there with him. He stabs his arm, takes his tracker out, gives it to some lady, and he just disappears. Completely disappears. He's probably scared as hell. So the Deep and his irritating wife found it and gave it to Homelander and told Homelander, like, look, Black Noir is gone. Like, he took his tracker out. He's out. Homelander looked like he was about to cry. Like, he was just like, no, he wouldn't do this. He did. So now Homelander doesn't really have anybody in his corner. The Deep is trying to kiss his butt. His wife, the Deep, I do not trust her. I do not trust her at all. It seems like she is manipulating him, but there's something else up with her. I feel like he got mad at her because the Deep initially went to go, I forgot what he said to Homelander before he gave him the tracker, but his wife was like, go ahead, go tell him what we figured out. And at the end of all of that, he goes and tells her, like, look, I had it on my own. She was like, oh, I'm just trying to help. But then she kind of kept looking at him like, I don't know. I just don't trust her. I don't trust her at all. So anyway, I'm going to be skipping a whole lot of parts here because now Soulja Boy is getting ready to go find the twins along with Butcher and Huey. Now, Butcher and Huey begin to take this temporary V. And Soulja Boy is looking at him like, what is that? Like, what are you guys doing? They're like transforming or whatever. So Starlight and MM are taking a ride to the house where the twins are. Apparently, they're dressed a certain way, and I'm like, why are they dressed like that? They're having a party. They go in, and it's a This episode is called Herogasm. So this house is basically a whole party. And literally, like, the way that Starlight tried to describe what does doesn't even sit right with me. Like, she doesn't even look right saying what she said. She was talking about how he does what he does with his mouth or whatever. And I was just like, the way that she did it, the way that she said it made me so uncomfortable. And he was just like, nah, he ain't having it. So they walk in. No, they're talking to the twins at this point first. And then the twins go in, and all of a sudden, oh, we see this long thing again that we saw a couple episodes ago where they were in this asylum. Dude's there. Him and his crazy long pipe. And then the fact that this thing was just kind of slithering around yo, it was so weird to see that. Like, it was really strange. So they end up going into the house, and of course there's all this craziness happening, a bunch of nakedness and heroes, and they're just all doing like these crazy weird things that you could just imagine what goes on at these type of parties. So at one point, is just kind of walking around, and this dude kind of brushes up on him, and his whole sleeve is like wet, and he's like, "Oh my god, I need a bathroom." Goes to try to find the bathroom. He opens the door, and all this white stuff just comes splashing on him, and I'm like, "Oh my god." Meanwhile, he goes and finally finds a bathroom. Starlight goes to find out what's in the other room. She sees a big old fish tank. She goes in and goes around the fish tank to find the Deep getting his business handled by an octopus. A freaking octopus, okay? I'm not even... She took a picture of it. She was just like, "Oh, Homelander's gone. Think this is really great." So then that's when Deep told her like this was all Homelander's idea. So at this point she's like, "We got to get everybody out of here, because Soldier Boy now is on his way, Homelander is on his way, everybody gonna die." So Huey and Butcher are getting ready to go. They finally get in there, because I think he knows that Starlight is in there and is in there. So he comes in contact with A-Train. Now, A-Train is there. A-Train is there looking for the other Soup who put his brother in the hospital. So he finally apologized to Huey, but then Huey punched him in the face really hard. And A-Train was like, "Yo, how'd you do that?" And Starlight stopped him before he can get any further with that, because at that point, then A-Train was really going to find out what was going on with him. So they left. And then sees, at one point sees Soldier Boy coming in. He throws one of them gas bombs or whatever, and literally he picked it up, inhaled it, and exhaled it like he was smoking a cigarette. I'm talking about Soldier Boy here. So now he wants to fight him. That's not going to happen. Butcher walked in and he was like, not him. The twins are outside. So he basically saved but wasn't having that. So now he wants to fight Butcher. So he can't really fight him because Butcher is doped up with this temporary V. So as he goes in, Soldier Boy finds the twins. So the twins basically tell him that this was all Black Noir's idea. So he doesn't believe them. And at this point now he's getting mad. But then he hears that Russian song again, and he's blacking out all over again. Now, literally, he explodes. Everybody, there's people dead. Everybody's injured. The twins, I don't know if they're dead or not. And now At this point, he goes back, and this is including Butcher and MM because they're still in the house. He goes back, Butcher's up, MM is down, Homelander comes in. I'm like, oh boy. Homelander walks in, and Butcher's standing there with Soldier Boy, and Homelander's looking at him, and they're exchanging words, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, he throws Butcher against the wall, and Soldier Boy is like, who are you? He's like, oh, I'm the upgrade, or something like that. So they start fighting. But before that, MM sees him, and MM wants to kill Soldier Boy right then and there. Starlight comes in. She's like, we gotta help these people. We gotta help these people. So with all this happening, now this whole big fight between Butcher and Soldier Boy and Homelander is happening. And they're getting them. They're getting them. They are all now like souped up. They're strong. And at one point, towards the end of this fight, now Huey comes in, and they could have had Homelander. They could have had him because they all had him face down. And Butcher was like, Huey, leave, 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 leave. He was like, hell no. Like, I ain't leaving. So eventually, Homelander breaks free. At this point, I feel like he's scared now because he almost got himself killed. All these people are hurt. Starlight is outside just kind of looking at everybody like, I can't believe this happened. She wanted to save everybody, and it didn't work out that way. So now she's going live telling everybody the truth about Soldier Boy, Homelander, and she quits. So that was wild. But another part that happened is that A-Train finally found what's his name that put his brother in the hospital. He saw him outside. Now, after all of this, you saw people coming outside naked, burnt up, messed up, and he's outside, and he's obviously walking outside naked with just his helmet on. I'm not A-Train. I forget what's his name. The guy that is taking everybody out in the black neighborhoods or whatever. So he finally finds him, and A-Train is looking at him, and he's like, I want revenge. And he grabs him by the throat. And knowing that he can't run the way that he normally does, he has completely gone mad. He grabs this dude by the throat. He literally starts speeding off. Literally, he's already naked. Literally, he is skinning him on the road as he is speeding through. You see like his skin just breaking apart. It was so nasty. I couldn't even see the end of that. It was so... I tell you guys all the time, just when I thought that I saw the grossest thing, here comes something else. That was probably the grossest thing. I gagged and everything. Y'all need to go see my reaction. I couldn't see it. But in the midst of that, I think A-Train just killed himself, because now dude is all body, his skin is just basically his meat all over the place. It was just disgusting. So when he finally stopped, you can hear his heart racing so much, and then it stops, and he's just laying there. So after all this episode, I'm just like, you know what? There's only 2 episodes left. What am I thinking? Starlight has quit, but I don't think she's 100% gone. I say that because she met up with the congresswoman and had a little conversation with her. The congresswoman could have killed her right then and there. She made her nose bleed, but she didn't kill her. She wants her help for her own political gains, and in return, she's telling her that she can protect her from Homelander. And she knows that Starlight knows about her. So I don't know if she's going to go talk to her to try to figure things out or what. Black Noir has disappeared. We still don't know what's going on with Maeve. A-Train, I think, killed himself. Homelander is probably scared as hell at this point because he almost got killed by Butcher, Huey, and Soldier Boy. Black Noir is still on the run, which makes me wonder if in fact it was his idea to just leave Soldier Boy that way. But I don't know, y'all. And then Huey is just being Huey at this point. He wants to protect Starlight so much, and I think that's just kind of costing him his relationship at this point. And MM is so pissed off at Butcher right now. Like, I don't know what's to come of those two. Kamiko and Frenchie, oh my gosh, let me touch up on that whole fight. They got Kamiko, Nina, they got the other chick that they were looking for that stole their money, and Frenchie. They're in this warehouse looking place. Long story short, Kamiko was eating a popsicle stick, and she kept the popsicle stick and got herself out of those handcuffs. The fight was crazy. For her to not have her powers, she did pretty good at protecting herself. And then the other girl got loose too and ran off. Nina ran off. Frenchie, he was sitting there just watching all this, hoping that it didn't happen. Kamiko was fighting one of the big dudes. This dude kept coming down and punching her ribs so hard I thought he was going to kill her. And eventually she grabbed something and stabbed him, and then she just kept going and going and going and going. I was like, that was kind of gross. That was really gross. So eventually all three of them are now in this safe place. And Kamiko still feels like crap even without her powers now because she killed somebody, so she thinks she's a monster. And Frenchie's like, no. So they were having a conversation, and at the end she said something to him, and he was like, no, and we don't know what that was. I don't know. The little subtitles weren't there. But I feel like I said in the last review, like I part of me is glad that she doesn't have them because she feels better about herself. But then it's like, if she would have had her powers, she would have kind of been a little better off than she was at this point. So I don't know if she's going to get her powers back. She might, but we don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But anyway, leave your comments down below. Let me know if you enjoyed my review. Let me know what you guys think of episode 6, season 3 of The Boys. If you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel, hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later. Toodles!